something very different. We're going to be taking a look at the Polaroid Star Wars The Mandalorian camera. Hello, folks. Thank you for joining me once again on another visual tour. On this episode, it's different. We're not going to be looking at an action figure review. We're going to be looking at the Polaroid instant camera, the Mandalorian Edition. And like most of you who follow me, you guys are in love with the Mandalorian. I know I am. And this particular item has caught my eye. I decided to do a kind of a quick review unboxing because there's not a lot of folks out there that really gave enough attention and enough love to this product because I like it. I think it's awesome. I dig the whole retro vintage look, aesthetic of it. It's awesome. And if you folks are looking for a Christmas item, a stocking stuffer, something that's a lot more affordable than a Hot Toys, I am 100% from the top of this video, I'm going to recommend the Polaroid Now, the Star Wars Mandalorian Edition. Not only is the box attractive, it's heavily themed. You know what's interesting is that I'm old enough to remember when Polaroid was hot stuff back in the day. Back in the day, we used film, and we used to process film, and that's how it was done. I could never afford the Polaroid. The Polaroid back in the 90s, this was really expensive. The film, I remember, it was always one of those things that really set it apart compared to 35mm film. I like that the instructions are very millennial described. Like, just look at the photo, just look at the photos and just follow the instructions, and so be it. I will say though, Polaroid film is still somewhat expensive, considering that this packet that it's about $16, so it comes to about $2 a photo. So it's something that you really want to kind of take into consideration. I love it. The whole vintage, the whole instant camera, the Mandalorian insignia. It's cool. I did see in the Amazon description one of the complaints is that it did not include a tripod mount, which I thought was very odd. Like, why wouldn't you want to include a tripod mount? Those are the straps. Yes, because I'm definitely going to be attaching the 1980s strap because I'm gonna wear this as a lanyard. You see right there, yeah, that would have been a tripod. But everything else, it's cool. I really love it. I've been going through a whole vintage kit recently, and I've never been against Polaroid, especially in the last decade. But we're also used to digital photography that we tend to forget that there is still a market for instant photography. There really is, especially Polaroid. I think one of the reasons that Polaroid has survived is that they've always been very innovative. Their products they've used theming, and let's not forget that instant photography or instant photos, what Polaroid provides, leaves no digital trail. And in this world, there is a huge demand for being able to take a photo and not leaving a digital marker. The red button, that's the snap, takes the photo on there. The lens, that's the self-timer button. It is autofocus. Autofocus does come with a learning curve, and that little right there, that's the port, and that's the viewfinder, old school viewfinder on there. Flash, and a micro USB, because it does have a lithium battery inside of it that does charge it up. I want to say you can get about 30 photos out of it before you have to. Hold down the power button a few seconds and it powers on, and then there's your counter right there. And once you install the film, it'll show 8. It'll show a count of 8. And then the flash where you can turn it on and off. I will highly recommend that if you do decide to get the Polaroid, if you decide to get this edition, Polaroid film always works best in daylight. Yes, you can take photos inside your home with the flash, but to get the most detail, the photography is always going to look a lot better. You can see the little green button there. It has a full charge with the micro USB. But let's pop it on there. And The self-timer button also acts as a double exposure, so tapping it twice activates a double exposure. The little red light signifies that it'll do the countdown for the self-timer. The film with little baby Yoda, or the child, as it's popularly known, to me it was one of the selling points. The whole idea that you can take a photo, a Polaroid photo, and it's Mandalorian themed, which is cool. It'll really signify that as the years go by, that when the photos were taken with the Mandalorian, with this specific themed film, it'll lock it into this era, well, to this year, this point in time where the Mandalorian really peaked. And when I say the Mandalorian peaked, I'm talking it's still climbing. Mandalorian is still hot stuff, and I think it's going to be strong for the next several years, as long as they keep up those good stories and have Jon Favreau at the helm. I think it's going to get even better. Popping up the foil on here for the Instafilm, and again, like I mentioned earlier, it's $16 a pack. See, that's cool, little Mandalorian themed on there. This is how they get you. If you're a big Star Wars fan, if you're a big Mandalorian fan, things like this whole theming and branding, just it gets me. I love it. I haven't even taken a photo yet. I think I had a Polaroid camera in the 90s, a disposable Polaroid. I think that was the last time I actually used a Polaroid camera. But other than that, I pretty much had stuck to 35 millimeter. It would have been really nice if I had this camera earlier for my Galaxy's Edge trip. That would have been kind of cool, taking some Galaxy's Edge photos with the theming of the Mandalorian. Pretty self-explanatory. Slips in. It'll slip in the cover. That film there is a protective film. It creates a seal to not let light leak in, so you want to be careful when you're taking that first cardboard out, the slip cover. And I guess you can keep that. And other than that, it's ready. It shows you the count, 8 right there. And I'm thinking it's time to go out in the field and experiment. I haven't used a Polaroid camera in a couple decades, so I'm going on location. I say let's go out in the desert. Let's see what shots, and of course it's Mandalorian. It's a Mandalorian Polaroid, so I brought the Mandalorian figure with the Jawa, and I'm out here, the Arizona border between Nevada and Arizona. Went hiking, and I wanted to see if I can try to catch a cool vintage artistic look. Taking a couple photos on there. I took 3. I love that Mandalorian back. Look at that border with the little icons is pretty cool. That is neat. That is really neat. Packed my stuff up and realized that, I need to get back to my car. And this is I will say hiking back, it did get a little bit creepy, especially when you have to scale parts of the canyon to get back. But I did manage to get a cool Google Pixel stellar photography photo. Anybody out there know what this cluster of stars is? I have no clue. Going back to the review here, I got some really interesting photos here. Again, the whole autofocus, it is a learning curve, so you really want to go back and try to figure out what is the best length from taking a photo. And right here, as I was putting the camera away, I ruined the Mandalorian border with that's my foot on there. That was fun. Yeah, no, this little mishap here, confusing the snap button with the power button, cost me $2. But I did manage to play around with the double focus, not double focus, the double exposure. Apologize on there, and I did a little bit of cosplaying here, playing with the lightsaber. But I did manage to get a really cool, creepy photo where I'm in meditation, and if you look carefully, you can kind of see the dark side. That's a double exposure. That's one of the features that you can do with Polaroid. Kind of get that grainy Instagram look. And my dog Mackenzie was wondering what the hell I was doing, making all this racket. And there she was. Yeah, I took a photo on there. The standard pupil dilation there. which is common with flash photography. But going out to the park and bringing along Boba Fett, I did manage to capture a really nice one here of the Mandalorian, Hot Toys Mandalorian with Boba Fett. A little canyon look on there, and that's pretty neat. Overall, though, I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm not going to go too crazy, but I will take advantage of the one I took of me and Mackenzie. And if you're creative, since we are coming into the holidays, there's Mackenzie. She's looking at me like, what are you doing? Danoby, what are you doing? If you're creative and there's someone, during the holidays, nice thing with Polaroid is that they capture a moment in time. It's a one and only photo. There's no duplicates. And I will definitely be taking advantage, because I'm still old school. I'm old enough that, yes, I still mail out Christmas cards to Nana and others in the family who are still out there within my life here, and they'll be blessed with a photo of me and Mackenzie. Tons of ways you can take advantage of an old school Polaroid photo. This was fun. This is very different. I'll get back to doing a couple more reviews, but let me know what you guys think. This is a little bit of a idea of a stocking stuffer, and if you do want to get your very own Polaroid The Mandalorian Edition camera, there is a link below this video that'll take you directly to my Amazon page. Like, subscribe. Thank you very much.